Good grief, have not fans. The lion tattoo Derrick Hanna conversation. I was looking through the comments on some of the various videos I've posted. Will Hanna find out that Derrick is an ex-con? Has the lion tattoo story been dragged out too long? Did we get a glimpse of Derrick's tattoo last week? Some of the comments are like, dude, you're the one who's dragging on the lion tattoo theory. And I mean, well, to be honest, I am not debating that. That is absolutely true. I mean, some of the best, most viewed videos on the channel are in regard to the tattoo. So I'm not going to deny that. But keep in mind that one, I am not writing the show. Two, I've said multiple times at the beginning of Derrick related videos, I've grown tired about talking about the tattoo. But a lot of fans request me to do other videos on it, so that's why it seems a bit repetitive. But sometimes people will ask me Derrick related topics that I haven't covered already. For example, in this video, a lot of people have asked me, Jeremy, do you think Derrick will potentially try to force himself on Hanna? And I've never done that video because I never could figure out how to do the video without it being flagged for um, demonetization, because for obvious reasons, I can't have rape in the title of a video. I can't say like, will Derrick rape Hanna? That's like an instantaneous, yeah, you're not going to make any money off of this and you're going to get the yellow dollar sign. So it's not even going to pop up in searches. So I might just put like, will Derrick take advantage, in quotation marks, take advantage of Hanna? And you can probably much fill in the blanks from there. But yeah, I was looking through the comments, and half the people are like, dude, I'm just so over the tattoo. Hanna said the eyes and nose of Candace are the same as the guy that raped her. And on top of that, the lion tattoo, and it was an older guy. So why wouldn't she have recognized Derrick? I mean, this might sound kind of cheesy, but think of it this way. Look at excuse me, Jeffrey and Madison. They haven't seen each other since grade school, and one could wager that the gap between Jeffrey seeing Madison again is smaller than the gap between Hanna and her alleged rapist. And again, we're just talking theoretically here, if Derrick was the man that raped her. So people change over time, body weight, facial appearances, and things like that. For example, Madison was unrecognizable by Jeffrey because he had dropped a lot of weight and got into shape. So you must say, in Jeremy, look, I see where you're going with this, but you're stretching it way too much. Obviously, somebody losing a lot of weight is a lot different than somebody just simply aging. And, Hanna would still be able to recognize the eyes and nose because Derrick and Candace were standing right beside each other. Not only that, they were sitting across from each other at the hospital. Well, technically, Derrick was sitting right, him and Charles, and then on their other side of the seat was Candace and then Hanna. But you see what I'm saying here, where that's why I wish the hospital scene would have been a little bit longer, because I really wish, instead of Derrick just sitting there and just having a little bit of a conversation with Charles and then talking with Hanna, I really wish that scene would have been a few minutes longer, where maybe we could have had some conversation where Candace, you shouldn't talk to your mom like that. And, your parents are sitting right across from us. And it's like, oh, wait, he's not my father. It's like, oh, no, I'm just a friend of her mother. Yeah, one might argue that Tyler Perry would just be dropping more breadcrumbs. But at the same time, I do feel like you would have given everybody else a little bit more of a chance to shine. And yeah, I just feel that when it comes down to it, this video is really going to cover various things that I've already touched upon. But do I think Derrick will eventually take advantage of Hanna? Okay, look, I need to figure out how to word this, because we are living in a very, very touchy society. And I do not mean that, physically. I mean like touchy subjects, in terms of, I don't want to seem like a guy where it's like, Jeremy, you're just another one of those guys where if a guy does something nice, then he feels he deserves something. That's not what I'm trying to say. But I did see this great comment saying, I'm sorry, but if I were Derrick, I would drop Hanna like a hot potato or something, because she ain't doing nothing but playing games and he ain't got time for that. Because the way I put it is this: if there was one word to describe Derrick, it would be patient. Because look at it this way, his wife died about a year ago, and based off what he told Catherine when, her and apparently Veronica, they were both trying to set him up on blind dates and everything. None of them clicked until Hanna came along. So we can assume almost that for at least a year, Derrick has not had sex. For at least a year, Derrick has not had sex at all, let alone find anyone that he felt very comfortable with. And it seems like Hannah's the first one. And I'm just going to throw this out there again, because I did do a video earlier today about, are these men too good to be true, referring to Madison, Charles, and Derrick. Now, keep in mind that when it comes to Veronica and Catherine, I doubt that they would just throw, Miss Cindy Lou and marry whoever else into Derrick's life because, the good work he does. I'm pretty sure they would both try to hook him up with women who they feel are a good match for him. So all I'm saying is this. Doesn't it remind you of Charles, where Charles allegedly has women all over the country, but when he found Candace, he felt like that's the one? And then you look at Derrick, who has women, that are being tossed at him via Mrs. Harrington and Mrs. Cryer, but he didn't feel like any of them were, a match until Hanna came along. Mother-daughter situation. They both find these great men who want to help carry the load that they've been carrying themselves for so long, all the baggage, all the drama, all the depression. Instead of just changing them, it's about helping them and making them feel better about themselves and really picking up the pieces of their lives and moving forward. So that's why I say, you really look at the Derrick and Charles situation about those two being parallel storylines between the mother and daughter, which could lead to those two getting closer in the future. I did a video on that a long time ago about, will Derrick and Charles be the people to actually bring mother and daughter closer together? So when it comes down to it, I'm just saying, like, don't you feel like it's a bit strange that, Derrick is that patient? Because if he was the rapist, then that definitely shows that he has learned a lot of restraint, because even when they were in the bed together, Hanna was saying, hey, man, stop, boy. It's like, if you can't handle just cuddling, you can go home. Because I'm guessing he was like trying to grind on Hanna or whatever. But the thing is, number one, once again, we can most likely assume he has not had sex for at least a year. And on top of that, Hannah's the first woman he's gotten to know very well and pretty much likes her a lot. And they're in bed together. And on top of that, she's wearing this, tempting gown instead of those granny moo-moos or whatever Derrick said he found in the bathroom when I was looking for towels. So okay, like I remember doing the video about, did we get a glimpse of Derrick's tattoo? And I talked about how it was a cute scene where I was annoyed at Hanna at first, but when she said something along the lines of, I was just trying to, be pretty or look nice, then I did understand that, because this is something she isn't used to, and she definitely hasn't been in a situation like this in quite some time. But when you think about it, I can see why people would feel annoyed. I'm not saying I'm really annoyed, but I feel like, as Derrick said, she is a tease, and it wasn't something that was mean-spirited. He was actually telling the truth. Because when you think about it, look at it, and this is just me trying to look at both sides of the mirror here. You have him who lost his wife about a year ago, and we can almost assume he hasn't had sex in a year. He's been patient despite everything that's been stopping him and Hanna from, having a good time, whether it be Benny's disrespectful ass over and over again, finding out about Hannah's troubled past with her daughter, and then on top of that, her being raped when she was younger. And, every time he tries to plan a nice vacation for the two, at first it was going to be a weekend at a beach house he has. Then it was, 1 or 2 weeks in the Bahamas, and even offering for her to go live with him. Something always happens, people jumping off the roof, people breaking into the house, people getting stabbed in front of the house. So Derrick, my gosh. And then when those two were it wasn't even about sex or making out. They were just having a nice time in bed together, just laughing and talking. Then her freeloading, stabby son decides to walk in without knocking and then literally kick him out of the bed. So if anything, Derrick, regardless of the whole tattoo thing, he's a good guy. The Derrick in the present. Now, I don't know what that means for the future, because like that subscriber said, if I were Derrick, I would drop her like a bad habit. I'm just like done with her, because I can understand, because they're not. I can see Derrick's attitude is like, look, we're not getting any younger because what when she said I'm not having sex until I get married, then fine, let's go elope right now. I mean, again, they're not getting any younger, and once again, I get the whole celibacy thing, but and I'm not saying she should just give it up to give it up, but at the same time, it's like you shouldn't really tempt the guy. It's like, okay, you want to be held, that's all well and good, but don't, is this a test or what? And then if he calls you out for it, then why are you going to act so defensive? So yeah, the more I talk about it, the more I kind of get agitated at Hanna, but at the same time, I do understand where she's coming from. But the question is, will there come a point where he does, and let's say if he was either the guy with the tattoo or a rapist leading to him being in jail, do you think it is possible that at some point he might actually get a bit fed up and he actually tries to force himself on Hanna, who then feels spooked because she's being in a similar position to when she got raped when she was younger? And then while he's trying to comfort her, it's almost like the Professor Cannon Amanda situation where she got raped, but a bit differently because of the age different. The age is being a lot closer. But can you just tell that if she's uncomfortable, but Derrick is trying to soothe her, just saying, no, just close your eyes, it'll be over, and it'll be fine. And then next thing you know, that tattoo comes up, and she sees it and starts freaking out because maybe she does oblige where at first she's not into it, but once he starts kissing her neck and everything, that's when she starts relaxing. But then when she like opens an eye, she sees the tattoo, and then boom. So I'm going to be completely honest here. Considering that Derrick has been this patient for this long, I don't think he will take advantage of Hanna. I could see it happening, but I don't think it's going to happen. So in terms of the lion tattoo, going back to what I mentioned earlier in the video about, like Jeffrey not recognizing Madison because he had like a, extreme makeover body edition between grade school to where he is now. When it comes to Hanna and Derrick, I mean, I was talking to my mom about this as well as some other people, and the look in someone's eyes can change over time. You might have the same eye color and something as somebody else, but you can either have, a blank stare, an angry just demeanor about yourself, and it shows in your eyes, or you could just have a good, well-rounded, joyful personality, and that shows in your eyes as well. So I think the eyes thing is just something, I know I'm going to be accused for reaching and saying that this, man, you're far-fetched. You're dwelling on this because in a lot of ways, the whole lion tattoo is kind of like, I'm like Captain Ahab and the tattoo is, Moby Dick, or, I'm SpongeBob and the lion tattoo is the driver's license, or Plankton with the Krabby Patty formula, or, just some along those comparisons. But I wish we got conclusion on this. I want to be completely honest here. I don't know how I would feel if Derrick didn't have the tattoo. I'm at the point where I just want to know if he does or doesn't so we can move on with our lives. But let's say if he doesn't have the tattoo, then I'm going to be doing a crap ton of videos because people will send requests. Jeffrey Owens, he has the tattoo. I don't know, guys. I really don't know. I just feel like if he doesn't have the tattoo, Tyler Perry better write one hell of a story because of all the darn red herrings and, misleading things that he has done so far. So I just want to know. I doubt we're going to have any conclusion on that in the next episode. It'll probably be, I don't know if we're going to even see Derrick tonight. I do not recall seeing him in the preview, and I didn't check IMDb, so I could be wrong. He could show up the next morning. We'll have to wait and see, but oh god, what do you think, folks? I think I laid out my best theory in one of my recent videos where I talked about, I think, what was it, if Hanna finds out Derrick is an ex-con, and the police come get their fingerprints, get the intruder and Hanna's fingerprints and whatnot from the kitchen. Then they find Derrick's in there as well because he made tea, he fixed breakfast and cleaned dishes, so his fingerprints were in there, and then that's how she finds out. Or other people have been saying, what if Veronica finds out about Derrick and Hanna, and out of spite literally says, well, you don't know he's an ex-con, I got him out of jail and we had sex before too, and you want to know what he was in jail for, little Miss Hanna? And then it's like, oh, Hannah's going to be pissed off because Derrick lied about not really having a connection with Veronica, because she saw him talking with Veronica and he just said, yeah, I do work for her as well, and she just had an assignment for me. So, but at the same time, it's like, well, that's not really Hannah's business. But that's the thing that will frustrate me the most, the fact that Derrick has been so patient despite her evil daughter and just man-child disrespectful punk son, and just being there for her this whole time and not getting anything from it, you know, in terms of physical intimacy. But then if Hanna finds out that, you know, he wasn't telling her everything about his past, she'll literally drop him and just she'll pretty much quit on Derrick like she does on Catherine whenever she's working for her every season. So if Hanna figures out about Derrick's past, and let's assume he isn't the guy with the tattoo, just his ex-con past while he was in jail, and she decides not to see him anymore, then I hope Derrick doesn't come back. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I just feel like he deserves better, because if Hanna is that quick to drop him as soon as she finds out about his past and whatnot, but he's a changed man, but she's judging him from the past, he deserves a hell of a lot better, and she doesn't deserve anybody, because that is just messed up. That's really all I got to say on that. So yeah, despite this video being about, you know, something of the tattoo, it really doesn't matter, because some people made some good points in the comments. Like, whenever I see Derrick and Hanna, I don't even think about the tattoo, because I do like his character a lot more. But at the same time, I think that might be Tyler Perry strategically teasing us, where we're going to establish Derrick and Hanna as far as we can get until we drop the lion tattoo bomb, and then see how Hanna reacts to the news. Okay, I'm done. I am done. So unless we get any clues tonight or in the preview for next week's episode, I don't think I'm going to be talking about the tattoo at least for another week or so, unless we get some random news or spoiler alert. So I will keep you in contact. But as always, be sure to follow Mr. Keith Burke on Instagram and Twitter. Same thing with Crystal Fox, aka Hanna, because again, I wouldn't be talking about this if I didn't care. I just feel like the whole tattoo mystery is one of the biggest things in the show to talk about now, because I don't know about you, but I would love to meet Candace's father, just like Veronica's mom. So with that being said, folks, this is the last tattoo video until further notice. So guys, let me know your thoughts on this. I hope we just get this case closed at some point so we can move forward with our lives. Congratulations on making it to the end of this video. If you like what you saw, be sure to hit that thumbs up button, as well as leaving your thoughts in the comment section below so we can keep the conversation going. On the left hand side of the screen, you should see a picture of Jeffrey Harrington. You can click on him in order to subscribe, but also hit the bell notification icon. That way you don't miss out on any new content. Also, you should see some videos appearing on the screen as well that I'm pretty sure you'll enjoy if you enjoyed the one you just saw. But also, be sure to follow me on social media such as Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Links to all my social media will be in the description below. And in order to help this channel hit 100,000 subscribers, I'm going to need your help. So make sure to share this video as well as the channel around with all of your friends on your own social media. But once again, thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you all in the next video.